All right, fight week. Hit back here again. What are the emotions like? What's the excitement level like coming in?
Oh man, it feels good to be back. I feel like I had a long layoff, so I just feel like I jumped right back into it, and I'm ready to put on a show on Saturday.
It does seem like it's been a bit of a layoff, and I'm sorry if I don't know the reason why you were originally booked back again in December of last year. Why
Yeah.
did that fight fall through? That
So I injured my ankle, had to get surgery, and then apparently a few weeks later she injured hers as well. So we kind of had like similar injuries. It was pretty weird, and we were just able to be like, all right, well, she's ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. Let's just rebook it.
ankle feels 100%.
Yeah, it feels better than 100%.
Those sort of injuries, is that akin to maybe the fight style that you tend to have? A lot of grappling, a lot of ground stuff, or was it just a freak sort of?
Yeah, I think in this sport you're gonna have injuries no matter what. If if you're not taking time off for yourself, your body's gonna tell you, all right, it's time. I think I was going so hard, and I was trying to jump back right back into camp, and my body was just kind of telling me to slow down.
What's it like having back-to-back camps for the same person? Do things change in between the two? I mean, is it just stick to what the plan was the first time, or did things alter going back into it the second time?
Um, yeah, I think they altered just a little bit. Just having so much time taken off, I was able to like watch film and watch fights and kind of figure out who I wanted to be. Not because she's going to come in differently or anything, but I just want to make sure I'm 100% for the fight.
Are you are you the person that likes to watch tape? Is that something that you normally do, or is that something newer to your game?
No, I think I've always liked to watch tape. But she's so different because she's every fight, I think she comes out either in a different stance or she comes out more aggressive or less aggressive. So I kind of have to be able to game plan for whatever way she's going to come in.
So as you're watching, are you immediately breaking everything down to what works good for you in that moment that you see her display on the screen? So if she's coming out striking and she's staying in a certain stance, are you immediately thinking in your head, man, right here is where I would counter with this, or this is wow, oh, this fits perfectly for my sort of thing? What goes through your
Yeah,
mind?
well, mostly my coaches will do that. But I just kind of see her tendencies and just kind of put that in the back of my mind and just be me. Like, I'm not really trying to counter things that she does. Like, I'm just trying to be the best version of myself.
Yeah, I know you said that you watched it and you wanted to be the best version of you. What does the best version of you look like?
Where I'm just flowing on my feet, moving like I want to. Takedowns are seamless and they're not forced. On the ground, I'm controlling. Yeah, just being aware in all positions.
And speaking of like growing and doing different things, I'm trying to pull up and double check. I believe that your last fight, ground and pound, that was your first ground and pound finish.
Yeah, it was my first ground and pound finish. Usually I'm just like trying to look for a submission, but I felt like being extra violent that night.
Does that make you? Does that? What does that immediately do to your mindset? Does it tell you, hey, the training worked perfectly, or what does that sort of give to you when you know that new wrinkle finally presents itself? That
Yeah, just that the training's paying off and I'm finally like able to dictate where the fight goes on my own.
now speaking of dictating and moving things, you're 2 inches taller. You have a 3 inch reach advantage. How big do those differences play out in this fight? Do you think?
Yeah, I think the reach advantage is going to be huge. I think she has trouble finding her own range, so I think I'll be able to keep her at distance and kind of take the fight where I want it to go. And that if that means staying kind of farther away and jabbing her or getting in close, I think I'll be able to do whatever I want to in that point.
I know we always say the fight starts standing up, but it always eventually makes its way to the ground. She's got good ground and pound as well. You've got that ground and pound win. But is the goal, or maybe not the goal, where does it befit you best? Does a fight, if it's to stay standing, or does part of you now say you want to get it down on the ground, you want to test the ground and pound against her ground and pound?
I'm confident in either one. Like if I'm feeling good on the feet, I'm going to keep it on the feet. If my corners are like, all right, you're winning the rounds on the feet, I'm going to keep it there. If I need to get a takedown, then I'm going to find myself to a takedown. It just kind of depends on how the fight's going.
You know, we were talking. Charles Jourdain was in here before you, and we were talking about fighting again in the apex. And when you're talking about being able to hear, talking with your coaches, do you enjoy fighting in the apex where it's a little bit quieter, where you can maybe hear your coaches easier and you can have that communication, or do you
Yeah.
like the crowd to just pump you up and get you motivated?
To be honest, I really don't really care when the fight starts because it's just kind of me and her in the center of the cage. There's no one else that really matters at that point. I do like to hear a little bit of my coaches if I need them, but mostly it's me making the reactions, making the reads, because if I don't know what to do at that point, then that's not good.
And you talked a little bit about her skill set already, but break her down for me. Where is she most dangerous, and what are the sort of things that you're looking out for that you need to be aware of going into this fight?
I think she's most dangerous when she's coming forward and pressuring, throwing big shots. When she's a little reckless, honestly, is when she's most dangerous.
And then looking at this fight, is going out there and getting a win just enough, or do you really want to kind of ride the momentum of that last fight and really sort of put a stamp on this with an explosive victory of some sort?
I'm 100% always looking for the finish. I don't like going in there and leaving it to the judges. That never works out well. So if I'm in there, you know, I'm 100% trying to finish you.
And looking forward to 2022, what sort of goals are you setting for yourself? It doesn't have to be particularly just people that you want to fight, maybe rankings, maybe it's career things outside businesses, other little sort of things. What sort of things are you setting for yourself in 2022?
Yeah, just getting this win, getting that number back to on my name again, and fighting another ranked opponent.
Do you think a victory on its own will get that ranking back?
Yeah, I do think a victory on its own will get it back. I think she's a very well-known opponent, good opponent. It'll be nice to have that win against her.
And last thing for me, keys to the victory. What sort of things need to happen to make sure that you get your arm raised at the end of the night?
Make sure my timing's on point, my distance, make sure I'm zoned in, and everything else will just come naturally because I know I'm the better fighter in there.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Hiya. Congrats on the win against Lipski. What were the keys for victory for you in that fight? Did you feel like a maturity and evolution in yourself, now you're winning in a multitude of ways?
Yeah, I think the key to victory on that one was to strike with her at first and not kind of just like shoot in for a takedown immediately. I knew I was going to be able to control her and on the ground. So I just had to be confident on my feet and find my takedowns kind of seamlessly. She hit really hard, so she was tough, but I'm glad I finished her.
Lipski's rebounded since that loss, whereas this is your first match back. You mentioned the long layoff and the ankle injury, but has it been frustrating at all coming back into the octagon now after so many months away and trying to capitalize again on that winning momentum?
No, it hasn't been difficult. I've been doing this for so long that I feel like I can just jump back in it whenever. I think I needed a little break mentally and physically, and now I'm kind of rejuvenated and feel like I got some new tools, and I'm coming in better than last year.
Are we going to see some of those new tools on Saturday?
Absolutely. You're going to see all the new tools. I've been putting in the work. I've made the sacrifices, and you're going to see a really good finish.
Best of luck.
Thank you.